Have you ever had a weekend so perfectly planned only for it to go completely sideways? Last Saturday, I decided to try baking sourdough. I ended up with a rock hard brick that could have broken a window.
Oh, no, Alex. I think we've all been there. It's those moments that make the best stories, though. A very warm welcome back to Simple English Stories, the podcast that makes learning English fun and practical. I'm Mia.
And I'm Alex. Today's episode is titled Beyond the 9 to 5, Talking Hobbies and Making Plans Like a Native. We're going to give you all the tools you need to chat confidently about what you do for fun.
Exactly. Today, we'll master key phrases for discussing hobbies and making plans. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to talk about your hobbies using natural vocabulary, the best phrases for making and responding to plans, and some cultural tips for how Americans discuss personal time.
It's going to be a packed episode. Are you ready? Let's dive in.
So, Alex, besides attempting to bake bread bricks, what do you actually do to unwind on the weekends?
Good question. I'm really into hiking these days. There's nothing better than getting out into nature after a long week. It completely clears my head. How about you, Mia? Did you pick up any new hobbies recently?
I did. I started learning calligraphy. I saw a video online and was mesmerized. It's so meditative, just focusing on the strokes of the pen. It's my new favorite pastime.
That sounds amazing. And you use some great vocabulary there, which is a perfect transition into our first segment. We're going to break down some core phrases you just heard. Let's start with one I used, to be into something.
Right.
When you say I'm into hiking, it's a very natural, common way to say you really enjoy it. It's much more conversational than my hobby is hiking. For example, you could say, my brother's really into vintage cars, or what kind of music are you into?
That's a great one. Another phrase you used, Alex, was to unwind or to de-stress. This means to relax after a period of work or stress. You said hiking helps you unwind. I could say, I listen to podcasts to de-stress on my commute home. A synonym would be to relax or to chill out.
Exactly. And you used a fantastic phrase, Mia, to pick up a hobby. This means to start a new hobby. For example, I picked up painting during the lockdown. It sounds so much more fluid than just saying I started a new hobby.
It does. Then there's pastime, which is simply another word for hobby. It sounds a little more classic, maybe. Reading is my favorite pastime. It's spelled Pastime.
Right. Now, let's move into making plans. The most common, friendly question you can ask is, what are you up to this weekend? It's the perfect way to start a conversation about plans. It's much more natural than what will you do?
What are you up to is my go-to phrase. Okay, here's a fun one for when you're more than just into something. You can say, I'm a bit of a enthusiast, or more informally, a geek or a nerd. For example, my friend is a real board game geek, or I'm a bit of a history enthusiast. It adds personality.
I love that one. I'm definitely a coffee nerd. Okay, our last phrase for this section is to dabble in something. This is the opposite of being an enthusiast. It means you do something casually, but you aren't an expert. For example, I dabble in photography, but I only use my phone.
Perfect for things you're trying out. So to recap, we have to be into something, to unwind, to pick up a hobby, pastime, what are you up to, being an enthusiast or geek, and to dabble in something. Try to use one of those this week.
All right, now that we have the vocabulary, let's see it in action. In this segment, me and I will role play a few real-life dialogues. Listen closely, and after each one, we'll give you a chance to repeat some key phrases.
Okay, scenario 1. Imagine two colleagues, Sarah and Ben, talking on a Friday afternoon. We'll be making and accepting a plan. I'll be Sarah, you be Ben.
Got it. Let's go.
Hey Ben, got any big plans for the weekend?
Not really. Just planning to unwind a bit. Maybe catch up on some reading. What about you?
Well, a few of us from marketing are going bowling on Saturday night. We were wondering if you'd like to join.
Bowling? I haven't done that in ages. I'd love to. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Great, I'll add you to the group chat.
Perfect. And scene. Okay, notice the key phrases. Sarah asked, got any big plans? And Ben accepted by saying, I'd love to. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Right. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. We were wondering if you'd like to join.
And now the enthusiastic acceptance. Repeat after me. I'd love to. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Excellent. Okay, scenario 2. Two friends, Maria and Chloe, catching up. This one is about discussing a new hobby.
So, Chloe, what have you been up to lately? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, I've been so busy. I actually picked up a new hobby, urban gardening. I'm trying to grow my own herbs on my balcony.
No way. That's so cool. How's it going?
It's been a learning curve, but I'm really into it. It's so rewarding to cook with something you've grown yourself.
And scene. Notice how Chloe used picked up a new hobby and I'm really into it. It flows so well.
It does. Now let's practice. Repeat after me. I picked up a new hobby, urban gardening.
Great. And now the follow-up. No way. That's so cool.
Perfect. Last one, and this is important. Politely declining an invitation. Let's go back to Sarah and Ben. What if Ben was busy?
Ready.
Hey Ben, a few of us are going bowling on Saturday night. We were wondering if you'd like to join.
Aw, that sounds like a blast, but I'm afraid I can't make it this weekend. My parents are in town. But please keep me in mind for next time.
Of course. Have a great time with your family.
See how polite and friendly that was? Ben started with a positive comment, that sounds like a blast, gave a reason, and then expressed interest for the future. Keep me in mind for next time.
Exactly. This is the golden formula for declining without being rude. Okay, let's practice the magic phrase. Repeat after me. That sounds like a blast, but I'm afraid I can't make it.
Awesome. Practicing these dialogues will make a huge difference in your conversations.
You've learned the vocab, you've heard the dialogues, and now it's time to test your knowledge with the English Go quiz.
That's right. I'll read 5 questions. Take a moment to think of the answer. If you're listening on a platform where you can comment, let us know your answers. Ready? Question 1. Which phrase is the most natural and friendly way to ask about someone's weekend plans? A. What will you do this weekend? B. What are you up to this weekend? Or C. Tell me your weekend plans.
The answer is B. What are you up to this weekend is the perfect casual and friendly opener. What will you do is grammatically correct, but a bit stiff. And tell me your plans can sound like a demand.
Right. Question 2. If you do a hobby casually and are not an expert, you A. Are really into it, B. Dabble in it, or C. Are an enthusiast.
That would be B. You dabble in it. Being into something or being an enthusiast means you have a much stronger interest.
Exactly. Question 3. What is a polite, natural way to say no to an invitation? A. I can't, I have other plans. B. No, I am busy. Or C. I'd love to, but I'm swamped this weekend.
The best answer here is C. It's soft, positive, and gives a vague reason without being too direct. Swamped is a great word for very busy. Option A is okay, but a bit blunt. Option B is too direct and can sound rude.
Totally agree. Number 4. The phrasal verb to unwind means A. To start a new project, B. To relax and de-stress, or C. To get excited about something.
It's B, to relax and de-stress. Time to unwind is time to chill out.
Last question. How do you best describe starting a new hobby? A. I found a hobby. B. I picked up a hobby. Or C. I did a hobby.
The most natural phrasal verb is B, I picked up a hobby. It's the one you'll hear native speakers use all the time.
How'd you do? Let us know. Now, let's talk about a few common mistakes to avoid.
A huge one is saying, my hobby is, followed by the activity. For example, my hobby is reading. While it's grammatically correct, it sounds very formal, almost like you're reading from a textbook. Instead, use phrases like, I'm into reading, or I love to read in my free time. It sounds so much more natural.
Another mistake is being too direct when declining plans. Saying, no, I can't, without any softening language can come across as cold. Always use that formula. Positive remark, polite refusal with a brief reason, and express future interest. That sounds amazing, but I'm tied up this weekend. Let's definitely do something soon, though. All right, Let's take your skills to the next level with some advanced tips and cultural notes.
My number one advanced tip is to always use follow-up questions. When someone tells you about their hobby, don't just say, "Oh, nice." Ask them something about it. It shows you're genuinely interested.
That's a great point. So if someone says, I'm into rock climbing, you could ask,
Wow, how did you get into that? Or, that sounds intense. Where do you usually go? These questions turn a simple exchange into a real conversation.
excellent. Now for a cultural note. In the US, talking about hobbies and weekend plans is a very common form of small talk. It's how people connect, even in a professional setting. It's generally not considered too personal or prying. Don't be surprised if people say they're busy or swamped. In American culture, being busy is often seen as a positive thing.
Right. Okay, to put all of this into practice, we have 3 speaking challenges for you. This is your homework.
Challenge number 1. The next time you talk to someone in English, describe your favorite hobby. You must use one of the phrases we taught you today, like I'm into or I dabble in.
Challenge number 2, this week, find an opportunity to ask a friend, family member, or colleague, what are you up to this weekend? And listen for how they respond.
And challenge number 3. Use the voice recorder on your phone and talk for 30 seconds about a hobby you'd like to pick up in the future. Try using phrases like, I've always wanted to get into, or I'm thinking of picking up.
Taking on these challenges is the fastest way to build real fluency. Don't be shy, give them a try.
And just like that, we've reached the end of another episode. Wow, that flew by. Let's quickly recap our main points.
We sure did. First, you learned a ton of natural vocabulary to move beyond my hobby is, using phrases like I'm into, I picked up, and I dabble in.
Second, you now have the perfect phrases for social situations. How to make plans with what are you up to? How to accept with I'd love to, and how to politely decline without causing offense.
And third, you got some key cultural insights, plus advanced tips like using follow-up questions to keep the conversation flowing.
Please don't forget your homework. Practice is what turns learning into a real skill. Try those 3 challenges and let us know how it goes. And if this episode helped you, please support our show.
Subscribe for new episodes every single week. Hit that notification bell so you never miss one. And give us a like or a 5-star review if you learned something new today. It really helps us out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm Mia.
And I'm Alex. Keep practicing, and we'll talk to you next time on Simple English Stories. Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.